So today is day 569 of my fasting journey. But let's be real, this is more than just fasting. This is my health and wellness journey. This is trying to take care of me as best and as healthy and as happy as I can. I've lost 13 pounds in the last 15 days implementing fasting and calorie tracking. On May 13th, I was 157.2 pounds, and today, May 27th, 144.2. Rolling fasts are how I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months and have kept it off over a year and a half later. No pills, no meds, no injections, no surgery. Just fasting. 13 pounds down in the last 15 days is a big deal to me because of how lean I am starting to get. What's more impressive to me is the fact that I am still losing weight doing ADF at about half a pound of every round I do ADF. That is big to me. I would be happy if I just lost 0.1 pounds every single round of ADF, but the fact that I'm still losing somewhere between 0.4 and 0.6 pounds per ADF, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it. For me, I think what's gonna happen as I am on this road to 130, meaning I'm trying to get myself down to 130 pounds flat, I think is going to start to get more difficult. I really don't know how long dropping about half a pound per ADF is going to continue. For now, it's been about 4 in a row. I think the part that makes it more difficult though is the fact that my goal isn't just to get the weight on the scale down. It's to make sure that I'm still going to the gym, I'm still lifting weights, which means for me, getting my protein in. So I think realistically, losing about 0.1 pounds per round of ADF, I'll take it. Definitely will take it. I just want to make sure that as I continue to shed more excess fat off of me, that I maintain all the muscle that I can. Sometimes I wonder if doing ADF, not getting my protein in every day, is going to affect that, but I don't want to worry too much about that because I've done 65-hour fasts. I've done 90-hour fasts, and my strength has still maintained. I still feel good physically, so eating every other day, I'm just gonna try it out and see where that puts me. On those fasted days, I eat 0 calories because I'm fasting. And lately, on the days I'm refeeding, I eat anywhere between 2,200 to 2,400 calories. If you do the math, let's say in 10 days, that's about 11,500 calories in. But it's also 23,000 calories out, which puts me in a huge caloric deficit. At that rate, that's about over 3 pounds of fat loss in about a week and a half. And for someone like me who's really trying to lean out to get to 130 pounds, that's a huge W in my book. So does that mean that you should be fasting for 40 plus hours? No. Before I started doing these alternate day fasts, these 40 plus hour fasts, I was doing 65s. Before that, I was doing 90s, sometimes 100 plus. And the majority of that time I was eating 5, 6, 7,000 plus calories per refeed. Does that mean you should too? Obviously not. You need to do what works for you. So are these alternate day fasts me fasting around, let's just say right now I'm fasting, I think around 45-ish hours. Is fasting this way harder than doing a 65-hour fast or doing a 90-hour fast? For me, I think the answer is yes and no. And I think for most people, that answer is going to depend. So for me, when I say yes and no, the fact that I get to eat every other day, I love it. I'm so happy that I'm able to do it and continue to lose weight. I can always tell myself on the days that I'm fasting that I get to eat tomorrow. At the same time, some of the harder things here is the fact that I'm limiting my calories. I'm not able to eat the 4, 5, 6, 7,000 calories that I typically eat. But that's new for me, and this is something that I'm still trying to learn and teach myself, controlling the volume of food, limiting my calories in that way. And then sometimes there are just days where I really don't feel like eating, and I know I could push another day of fasting, and maybe that's going to happen in the future every now and then, but right now I really like this cadence. It really feels good. It feels like my workouts are good. It's really nice to look forward to eating every other day, but at the same time, this is really good practice for me to keep my calories in check. But does it mean I'll never do a 65 or a 90-hour fast again? That's not true. Eventually, I will push one of those fasts in. The way I look at it, the way I imagine this is, let's say I get to my goal weight and I'm at my goal weight, even maybe I'm able to do OMAD because I'm keeping my calories in check, getting my protein in, continuing to build muscle, but let's say I have a long weekend and I end up eating Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on those days, I'm not really counting calories. I'm using my 20% of the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I'm doing what I should be doing, 20% of the time I'm doing whatever. Let's just say one of those weekends comes and I don't know, I gain 8 pounds, whatever that number might be, then I'll implement a longer fast using that tool, using that resource to the best of my ability, because I know that I just had an overconsumption of calories for the entire weekend. But the big takeaway here is to use fasting as a tool. Make it work for you. If you have the motivation, if you have the discipline to get through an extended fast, more power to you. If you need to scale back on your fasting hours, let's say 16 hours instead of 60 hours, well, then your diet better be in check. Your eating better be in check. And really, that's the big piece here, is the food control, the calorie control for me. This, like I said in my previous videos, is profound for me. For me to be able to actually control my calories, to control the volume of food that I eat. Over the last year and a half, I think just the practice of showing up, being disciplined, learning about myself, practicing all of these very difficult things to do, like prolonged fasting, making sure I go for my walks, lifting weights, doing things that I don't want to do every now and then, I think it's really taught me to start taking care of myself in different ways, like my diet. I also know that it doesn't mean that I'm going to be eating this way forever. I know that there are going to be days where I overeat, and I'm not going to stop showing that, because I think that's really important to at least share where my head is at when those days happen. But if we just dig into the nerdy analytics here for a second and we look at the last 2 weeks, when I talk about how many calories I have taken in the last 14 days, it's been under 12,000 calories. That really puts me at a severe caloric deficit. And it's this kind of calorie counting, this kind of tracking, that is actually able to let me see what the results look like in real time when I step on the scale. Is, oh, when I limit myself this way, the weight is going to push itself down in this type of fashion. But it's also a really good opportunity for me to tell myself, when I'm at such a huge caloric deficit like I am currently in the last 2 weeks, it means that if I wanted to go out today and go eat burgers and pizza and sushi and even get a couple slices of cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, I'm gonna be fine. Why? Because I'm at a caloric deficit. And I know me, that eating 5, 6, 7,000 calories is satiating enough for me. So I know I'm not gonna find myself going completely overboard. It's that 20% that I'm talking about, where I don't have to track. I don't have to be as mindful. I don't have to worry about getting a super long walk in, because most of the time I'm doing the shit I'm supposed to be doing. For me too, it really puts this calorie cycling thing into play, where I tell myself some days I should try even eating every day, doing OMAD. Maybe on an OMAD day, eating, let's say 1,200 calories, and then the next day eating 2,900 calories. And then the next day, maybe 1,400 calories. Kind of playing it by ear, debating on, should I have less calories because it's not going to be such a huge cardio or weightlifting day. These are things that you'll probably see from me in the future, but currently in my head, because I have to start being a lot more diligent in what I'm doing, not because I have to, but because I have a pretty strict goal that I want to get to. I really want to get down to a very lean weight. I want to continue adding muscle. And for me to get there, I think I'm going to have to push it up to another level. Does that mean you have to? Absolutely not. I just share all of these things because I want to share where my head is at, what I'm currently doing, and if it's something that might be useful for you as a tool, please use it. I mean, that's why you've also seen me try to eat differently, make different choices, really load up on things like vegetables, and not eat pumpkin pie or cheesecake at every refeed, but instead make something that is lower calorie, maybe doesn't taste as good as a slice of cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory, but something that I can still be happy with and tell myself, this is enough. I'm good with this. I can move on with my life. And I just want to continue to add on to the fact here that because of limiting my calories right now, the weight that I gain on my refeeds are very minimal. Somewhere between 3 to 3.25 pounds that I gain after a refeed versus what it used to be, sometimes upwards of 6 to 8 pounds after a refeed. And that stability is really nice. I think I was even counting the last 10-ish days or so of my ADF or just my journey in general, and my weight has just stuck at right around the 140s, but continuing to trend down. It is nice to keep the weight at a more steady rate so that I can continue wearing smaller clothes and that when I don't gain 8 pounds, I don't feel so bloated that there are certain things that I can't wear. That's a big win for me. This is what's working for me right now. Just like fasting for 90 plus hours was working for me and eating 7,000 calories. Just like doing 65-hour fasts was working for me and still eating around 6,000 calories. But everything will continue to evolve and change over time. I will continue to learn about myself as long as I continue to show up. The only way you're gonna make this work is to do something that you can do sustainably and consistently. Have a backup plan ready and use all the tools and resources that you know that you have used and apply them day in and day out. But never stop showing up. You had a bad day, so what? So have I. In the last 569 days, I've had my fair share of that. It doesn't change, it doesn't stop, it doesn't deter me from showing up. But Jerome, you don't understand. In a bad day, I can gain 5 pounds. Listen, I've gained 21 in 10 days. I've gained 20 pounds in 6 days. You know, believe me, go check Finally Fasting on my YouTube channel, and I have documented all of those days, all of the good days and all of the bad days. But I still show up. I practice something I like to call imperfect consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent.